Today, we're potting up tomatoes. And more specifically, we're potting them up much different than anyone else does. And that is because I am always pushing the levels of science when it comes to tomatoes. And so, for best practices, for the most explosive growth, for the best root system, for the most flowers, for the most drought resistance, for the ability to take on a cold zone, this is what I do. Take everything I say with a grain of salt. For some of you, it's going to piss you off because it's not what normal people do. So I apologize in advance for that. Now, first off, let's start off when you need to transplant. So the when is actually about 2 to 3 true leaves, and that's kind of where my guys are sitting at currently. I have them potted up or started inside of a Jiffy pod, which is a cotton version of a Jiffy pod, I guess, technically. Don't remember what they're called. And so because of that, this is like a cotton fiber on the outside. And normally I wouldn't take the whole plant apart to get to that cotton fiber. But in this event, my seeds I've got 2 seeds that germinated in the same cell. And so I'm going to try to separate them accordingly, which turns out not to be that difficult. Next up is the actual pot I'm using. So this is not a regular pot. This is what we call a root training pot. It's really flexy. It's got these kind of corrugation going down the sides. What does that mean? It's obviously a lot taller. So what this does is because it has this kind of ribbing on the pot, it forces the roots to go downwards, which causes a root system that's better at digging for nutrients, better at getting through drought, better at the transplanting process, and ultimately just makes for a healthier root system. With your regular pots with the smooth edges, what tends to happen is you will get singular roots that will just hit the edge. And because it's smooth, they will just kind of spiral or go downwards. And so they'll just be single, really long roots with some kind of offshoots, if you will. Nothing wrong with that. It just doesn't make as hardy of a plant, if you will. So that is why I'm going to use root trainers this year. Don't get me wrong. I only have about 50 root trainers and I have about 140-ish plants, tomato plants. They're not all going to get potted up into root trainers. That's just the reality. A lot of them are just going to get potted up into your regular pots, which are just your classic 4x4 pots. Now, I will say that I'm going to do an experiment where I pot my tomatoes up into various different sizes of pots to kind of show you how it actually affects the seedlings themselves, not just the adult plants. And I'll post that obviously separately because it'll have to be done in probably about 4 weeks' time. So if you want to watch that in 4 weeks' time, hit that subscribe button so you do not miss it, because it's going to be very interesting, I can assure you. I'm taking bets on this bad boy being the healthiest. So I am just going to use Gulf Green soil. There's a little story behind this. If you watch my video on potting soils and comparing potting soils, you know that I'm unable to get what I normally love and adore, which is Sunshine Mix number 4, or at a bare minimum, Pro Mix HP, because they're all still in snowbanks at the garden centers. And then mine is actually frozen to the ground here at my home. So I had to go into the garden center physically inside and grab what they had, which resulted in me getting like 7 or 8 different types of potting soil and then making a video comparing them, which is for PG audiences only, because I may or may not swear in that a lot because something happened that I will never forgive Miracle Grow for ever the rest of my life. Oh my God. So yeah, don't buy Miracle Grow potting soil, apparently. So let me fill this up. So what I'm doing is I'm literally filling it up. And I do this with the same containers, regardless of what I go with. So I, again, like the high porosity ones, and I like to actually pack the high porosity potting soils into the containers. In this instance, I'm not going to pack as much because the perlite in the potting soils I did get are medium to fine grade. They're not coarse to medium, and there's not a lot of perlite in there, so I don't want to go too heavy. So I'm going to put this in there, light little taps on the top. And then I am going to leave like a little kind of lip on it. Usually I do about 1 inch of a lip because that allows me to water in an expedited fashion instead of sitting there waiting for the water to penetrate all the way, yada, yada, yada. I'm just going to have, like I said, 1/2 inch of headroom, if you will, same as canning. And now I'm going to pot these guys up. So here's the thing with tomatoes. We know that if we plant the tomato in, we know that the tomato stem in and of itself has undifferentiated stem cell tissue, and that stem cell tissue will eventually turn into roots. And therefore, we can sink this as high or as far as we want and get some good results. Here's the thing. this pot is going to be this tomato's little home for the foreseeable future, probably the next month and a half, 2 months. And so because of that, I don't actually want to sink this all the way to the hilt. I only want to put that root ball in nice and level and then put the soil around it. Now, the reason for this is because I want as much of this container to be root as possible. And I want it to be the main root system, not this kind of stressed, forced root system that we would get with the stems. When I go to transplant them outdoors, I also, again, will ensure that the tomato itself isn't planted to the hilt. I actually will only drop them down to the first cotyledons, if at all. The reason being is because the soil outdoors in Canada is much cooler than where the study was done. That tells us to sink it to the first true leaves or further. And it's kind of funny because now there's several creators out there. I won't name names, but there's several creators out there that for ages used to sink it to the hilt. And I think my video may or may not have made it through the internet over the last 2-ish years that I finally came out and said that and then got a whole bunch of hate on the internet for it. But there's a lot of them that aren't doing it anymore either, because they probably saw the benefits of keeping a root system warm, particularly a root system of a plant that likes warmth, aka the tomato. So that is why I'm not going to sink it in here, and I'm also not going to sink it when I put them outdoors, but I will do a separate video on what that looks like then. So this bad boy, it's just literally going to go under some grow lights. You can see the container height. I'm going to have to adjust my lights accordingly to help take on this plant. But yeah, so this is where your tomato plant shines and thrives and is best in an environment. I hope this helps you guys out. And I will remember hopefully to tag these down below. If I forget, please let me know and I can do so. I will talk to you guys next time. Bye.